Alrighty. Let's finish up here. We're done. Okay. Great. We're back. And YouTube, welcome back. And stream, you never left. This is the best. Love technology. Anyway, here we go. Natalie Graves. Good morning, Sunshine. How was your first day of the part? It was great. I had an install program. It was great. I kid. Honestly, I felt gross just typing that. Okay. Swung by during my shift last night. Dropped off your new tablet. I assumed you found it already. App is Ticket. Whenever it reports an IT issue, it gets added to the ticket so we can figure out how to deal with it. You can drag tickets to the different columns, change the order, set priorities, whatever works best for you. Wow, that's highly accurate. We have a ticket system that we use in our company that's pretty much the exact same way. We can set priorities. We can see how long the ticket's been there for, and we can work on it. We can write notes, close it out. Yeah, it's pretty accurate. Wow. I'm surprised. Anyway, okay. So you can drag tickets. Complete tickets get cleared at the end of the day. If you get swamped, you really don't want to drag it to the night shift column. I'll handle it. Pretty useful, right? Just don't forget to check your emails. So my goal here is probably going to be... I'd like to be, okay, if I was going to play this game as me, I would leave nothing for the night shift. I would complete everything. Get past my day, no lunch, no nothing, just complete everything. So that's our goal. I don't think I'll ever really push anything to the night shift, but, we'll see. As the game goes, I don't know how it's all going to work. We're not really on a time limit. I guess it's more like a quality limit. Okay. So we have two issues here. So this blue little icon means I think it's a tech issue. So, okay. So the employee, Ira T. Essler. Oh, that's the owner, I think. Urgent fix for my computer. The power supply seems to be shorted out. I also strongly suggest you upgrade the memory to 16. Dang, that's greedy. That's real greedy. There is not a single computer in my school that has 16 gigabytes of RAM. All right. I'm just going to say that. There might be one. Maybe one. And I don't even know where it is because I haven't seen one. I'll leave it to your discretion, but I promise it won't keep up with your next performance review. Okay. Required by January 7th. I'll complete it today. Replace. Wait, we have to order the parts. So, okay. So, working with a school, you can kind of use old parts and replace them. That's just smart as an IT specialist, especially if anyone's deciding to be an IT specialist. Just use older parts first that work. So, for example, if a computer has a RAM issue or a motherboard issue, and you can't really replace the motherboard without spending an insanely amount of money, and it just wouldn't be worth it. You might as well just buy a new computer at that point. Scrap that thing, grab the hard drive, grab the RAM, grab everything that works, like the power supply, and then you have parts for the next job. So, for example, if something like a power supply fails, you can just replace the computer. It's just, that's logic. You always want to be thinking ahead, and it's definitely worth the extra work before you toss the computer away. So scrap as much as you can. If you have too much, that does happen. You don't have to worry about it, but it's definitely not worth trying to replace every power supply with a brand new one, because it's just it could just fail again, and we don't have the budget for that. A lot of principals will always say, we never have the budget for that. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. So every minute I go, that irritates losing money. It could have been simple wear and tear, faulty component, or it's impossible to say. Whatever the cause, fate of the entire company rests in your hands. Get this right, and you'll be in my good books. I may even mention you in the company newsletter. Okay, so we're assuming that there's broken PC parts. One of the biggest faulty behind this email is that we usually, I don't want to sound rude. I don't want to sound rude, But we usually don't take everything that people say to heart. When I first enter a room, they say, oh, the power supply is broken. I'm like, okay, well, let me check it out first. And the cable's unplugged. You know, like the power supply cable is unplugged. And I'm like, all right, plug it back in. It works just fine. So take everything that people say with a grain of salt when you're working in the tech field, in the tech department. So they're usually, not to say that they're always wrong, but they're usually wrong. So, you know. This is great. I feel like I have a lot to say, a lot of knowledge to spread. This is great. I'll get comfortable. Here we go. I'm ready. So I'm looking over here. This is okay. So I can see my face on this one, and I'll just make sure everything's good. I'm looking good, and the stream chat's over here. So I'm just kind of glazing every so often to the left. If that's you know, that's why I'm doing it. I'm just trying to state that. Anyway. All right. Okay. All right. So this is done. So what we'll do, so there's a ticket. All right. So this is done. All right. What's the other ticket? Actually, usually I try to do one at a time. So let's do, okay, so let's go to ticket. Okay. So this is on a ticket. This ticket pays $500. Of course I want to get it. I'm curious when I spend the money on this one, because the last one, if I'm working for this company, I wouldn't buy things for this company. The last in the base game, you buy things for your PC, like your new business, for your PC building business. So I'm just curious on what you can actually spend money on this one, but I don't know. More desks, maybe a couch. I don't know. This is a big ass room. You get a couch in here. You could dig this place up. All right. So we'll set the priority to high because she wants it to be top priority, even though it's not really. But it's the founder. So definitely a big thing in the tech field is priorities. Is you have to use your discretion. But a good rule of thumb is no matter simple, small, large, take care of your superiors. It is definitely worth the trouble. Teachers are one thing in a school, but a principal is another. Make sure that a principal is always done first. Every time. Like if you need to drop it, if it's top priority, you do it, because it'll really, really help you in the end. Because as you know, you could be super buddy with that teacher, but if the principal shouts, you gotta go. So it just works out better for you in the long run. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go to this PC right now. Okay, so I have a tablet. Okay, so it's cool. I can just use that whenever. That's awesome. Oh, actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'll move me down a little bit because there's nothing there, and now you can see this bar up on the top. There you go. Look at that efficiency. Perfect. There you go. So I'm not blocking anything. So it looks like there's a happiness meter on the top right. I don't know if that's my happiness. Is this Sims? Is this my happiness, or is this the company's happiness? I don't know if this was ever explained. I might have missed it. Okay, so this is the one we need to fix. Okay, I'm told there's a dead power supply. Usually the game is right. Damn, that's a small computer. This is a mini ITX. What are these computers that these like, this is not like a normal company computer, I don't think. Like, you don't see this often in the tech world. You see like a Dell, the fattest Dell you could think of, plopped on your desk. Not a tiny little ITX, mini ITX, you know, micro ITX, mini ITX, I forget. One of those. I used to have one. I upgraded. No. I feel like it was an upgrade. Alright, let's check this out. Oh, that's the back panel, that makes sense. It's the front, but seems like it's got a freaking window. Okay, this is definitely a weird setup, but it is definitely a mini. So there's the air cooler thing, and power supply is supposedly dead. So the first thing I would do with, let's see, do we have any? We don't have any. Okay. It doesn't seem to want to, hold on. Let's see. I think you can still do it. Just put this on there. There we go. Oh yeah, okay, so you have to put the panel on to turn it on. So let's try to turn it on here. Okay, so it doesn't power on. So, okay, so immediately, if it's not powering on at all, nothing's happening, that is definitely a power supply issue. A computer will always turn on with the power supply, and minus some things, but I don't think that's included in this game. There are some switches on the case itself that hit when you hit the power button on the top. Yeah, there's connectors for that on the motherboard, and if they're improperly installed or improperly positioned, the computer won't turn on. But generally, the computer will always turn on if the power supply is correctly plugged in and the power switch is correctly plugged in. So if you get nothing, it's definitely the power supply. We need to fix this. So we need to replace this, rather. We don't seem to have any power supplies in the stock, which means we need to buy some. So I'll go into the computer real quick and grab a small power supply. Okay, so the biggest thing I'd say with power supplies is the form factor. We have to make sure the form factor is accurate to the whatever case we have, and whatever model it is. Usually I'd reverse the model up and try to pinpoint on what kind of what kind of PC fits in that case, or what kind of power supply fits in that case, rather. So I think this is very general. Let me see. So that's the, I just took her, oops, pressed the wrong one, the PCI lock. So the first thing I want to do now is probably, we're going to turn this off, and we're going to remove plugs, all the plugs. And we are going to, oh my god, she's got a graphics card too? I wonder what kind. 1030, a GT 1030. Oh my goodness. Okay, I mean, not the best thing in the world, but damn. These games people are crazy. So it looks like it's just a normal size, like ATX size form factor power supply. Zoom in a little bit. So we're just gonna unplug it all. So highlights red, so you can now remove this. It's got screws in the back, I see, so the power supply plugs in at the bottom. It's very interesting the way this is set up. Anyway, alright. So now that that's removed, we can, I think you can still sell these, right? Sell for $1. It's broken. Okay. Oh, there's a sell all broken button, that's nice. Yeah, sell it. Okay, so, alright, so it's just a normal thing. I think what she said in the email, she wants I'm assuming she wants this is the owner here, so we're talking about, so I'm assuming she wants the best power supply possible. Or at least one of the best. Okay, module. I sold it already. I didn't get to see the specs. I'm pretty sure it was just the module. Okay, yeah. All right, so we're gonna get her a 850 watts. Okay, so 850 is not necessary for the work I'm assuming that they're doing, unless they're playing games on their device. 850 is unnecessary, 750 is unnecessary, even a 650 is unnecessary. Realistically, you'd really only need a 450 or 550 for a workplace. They're not going to be doing anything crazy like games or even in addition to graphics cards, when you add a graphics card, you might want to push it to a 650 just to be safe. But you're never going to use that much. My computer has a 750, so it hasn't done me any issues yet. So it's not necessary. So for the graphics card and everything, I would probably buy this one, the 650, the module ATX, and normal length. So we're gonna add that to the cart. All right. So now that this issue is gonna be done, we'll do. Okay. So 3 to 5 working days is too long, so we want it by tomorrow. So yeah, we'll get this done tomorrow for the cheapest, because same day delivery is $100, and that's not profitable at all. Well, it did say it was urgent. It was 180. I'm gonna be getting 500 for the deal. It's not terrible. It's really not that big of a loss. $80. Yeah. We could do same day. It is the owner. I mean, realistically, you could just say, oh, it'll be in tomorrow, we'll be fine. And it says can just complete by this day. I don't know. It's kind of debatable. Here. Let's put this back on. Yeah, it's kind of debatable. Why is this still in? Oh, it must have just automatically plugged them in after I put the thing on. Okay. Could just do same day. All right, let's see what happens. So what's this one all about? So we gotta look. Oh, strongly says you upgrade the available memory to 16 gigabytes. What do they have currently? 8. Viper Steel 8 gigabyte 3000 megahertz series. Okay, so a rule of thumb with RAM when you're talking with memory is get the exact same one that it has for compatibility, full compatibility. There are some, you can kind of work with it, and there are some exceptions, obviously. Like you can make it work, but it's always good to get the Patriot Viper Steel Series 8 gigabyte again to upgrade your RAM. Viper Steel Series, another 8. It's $100. My goodness, seems a lot for RAM. All right, add that to cart. So that's $280 for everything because we have same day shipping on, or $670 loss. I might do same day just because. All right, but a smart decision is shipping is the same. So what we could do is, now that that's done, we're pretty much done. We're good there. Now that the RAM's been upgraded and the priority's done, we see another backlog. It's probably an email. So this is also very accurate. So it seems like I get an email and it goes through the ticket system. Okay, yeah, that's exactly how it works at my at school. We get our tickets emailed to us, as well as through the portal or the ticket system that I'm using right now. Just keeps us organized. Actually, our like back end company uses this system and like looks at it, make sure the things are getting done, the owner can see it and everything. So it's good for record, making sure we're not nothing. Just, it's always good to put it through a ticket system first. Plus it keeps everyone organized, everyone informed. You can update it, tell them that we're working on it. But it's also really good that we have it in an email because it's sometimes faster. There's many times where I'm in work and I don't have time to, check the portal, log in, like to get into my administration. I have a cybersecurity company that I work for. They have 2-step authentication. I have to reset my password all the time. I have to to log into my portal, I have to put, my password. Then I gotta do 2-step authentication, and then I gotta wait for it to load up, and then I gotta find the ticket inside the portal database somehow. that can just take a very long time. And I wish we had tablets for our database. That would be amazing. But but I just check my phone. We get emails through the thing, and I go, oh, like a ticket was put in, and then I can see the details and all that, and it's quick, and I can, okay, I'm gonna go do it, and then I'll log in and put my record in later. So it's definitely useful to have both. So that is very accurate in this game. I will say this is very accurate. Okay, been trying to find docs on your onboarding, but my drive is so cluttered. Could you install Clean It Pro and give it once over for me? It's insane. That's insane that they know the Cleaner app. That's quite something. Anyway, I've got some forms to print off, but the printer isn't working. Maybe you could look into it. Oh, the printer's not working. Probably a jam, or maybe it needs restarting. If it still doesn't work after that, I just usually hit it. You might want to run viruses scan. I accidentally went and visited the website. It's not safe. Okay, so there. Okay, so we have the printer, and we need to, looks like we don't need to buy any parts for this computer. So we just need to install something on it. So we'll boot this up. Oh, it's the same guy. I just noticed. So we need to grab our USB drive, which has all our programs on it. This is one way of doing it. I see it as a very tangible way. I think it's just the way the game can implement it, probably a lot easier. But the way we get our programs is a little bit simpler. I wouldn't say simpler. Actually, it might even be harder. Or I don't know. It's just different. We have a network drive that has all of our installers on it. So our network admin, puts all of our, puts stuff in the drive. I can put stuff in the drive. It's just like a normal folder, and it's across all of the, what is it called? The computers in the district, because we can, access it just using our credentials and log in and, pick the installer we want. You obviously need to have admin privileges, but there's a lot of stuff on there, and it makes things a lot easier than having to carry a drive with you, I guess. I mean, I think it's easier. Some people would disagree, I guess. But okay, so we need this program called Clean It Pro. I'm just looking for it real quick. There it is. So do this, and then we're going to restart it with this incredibly fast hard drive. I can't. I've never seen a hard drive boot up this quick. This thing boots up faster than my computer, and I have an M2. I have an M2 slot, freaking brand new SSD, 1 terabyte, and this thing starts up faster than mine. It's like ready to go. Opens apps like that, man. I double click that app at my work, and I gotta sit here for 2 seconds and fiddle away on my iPhone and wait, read my emails, something, I don't know. But there you go. So cleanup is complete. That's done. So that's good. So do we need to uninstall the program once it's on there, or should I keep it on there? I guess I'll keep it on there. He might need it again. Doesn't really say anything about removing it. So okay. So he said he also needed the paper jam and the virus scan. So I have to do. Oh, you know what? I think. Oh, I needed to install this program first. I should have just waited. I didn't know I needed a virus scan. So in the district we have a universal universal antivirus software that everyone uses. And not only is it an antivirus software, it's also an endpoint manager, which lets us remote into every PC that's connected and has that program installed. Damn, I wish it was that easy. Here's a mini story with viruses in the workplace. One of my, I was 2 weeks into this job, and I had a teacher come in saying there was all this stuff popping up on my screen, and I'm nervous because I saw a lady, she wasn't wearing any clothes, and I was laughing, and she's freaking out. And it's one of those, she didn't have anything installed on her computer. Actually, it's when you just kind of, I don't know how they really do it, because I've never done it, but they click on random things. They click on random installs, the wrong things. They always find the wrong thing to click, and then it just ends up being a disaster. So, and then like they just have constant notifications. Your, computer is virus, whatever pops up on the notification dock on the Windows. And there's 2 ways to, fix this. I have like 2 workarounds, and it's either clear the cookies, because that's what's popping up. It's all the notifications from Google Chrome cookies, and that's why these ads are popping up. Or you block the notifications, because I actually ran into that issue. You think like, oh, you'd want them off and want them gone, but then it also, cleaning those cookies also wipes out her entire like cookie thing. So our passwords will be forgotten. She have to retype them all in, stuff like that. So it's definitely it's a tricky situation when it comes to potential viruses and malware. So but I wish it was definitely as easy as that. I'm going to keep both programs loaded on his computer because it looks like he's going to need it. Okay, so this is done. So we can grab this one and put it back in here. He had a printer issue. So it seems like... Okay, yes, so there's a printer issue. Bash the computer. Okay, well, before we bash the printer... that's hilarious. That's an option. Let's check and see if there's a paper jam or something. Okay, so the printer in my work has automatic, like an automatic way of checking if there's a paper jam, and also like kind of walks you through it on the tablet screen if how to clear a jam. So working with every printer is different, which is kind of a difficult thing with a tech. And this icon doesn't really give you that much information. Usually there's like a log says, hey, there's a problem. But since there's limited on options here, I'm going to try to turn it off and turn it back on. Yeah. Okay. See? Isn't that the greatest? You don't need to hit it. You don't need to be mean to the device. Just turn it off, turn it back on. This is a rule of thumb for everyone, not even IT specialists, just everyone. All right, so now that we're gonna fix this problem today, because we're gonna spend our $100 for same-day shipping, we're gonna buy it now. So now these things have arrived. Great. So we get these instantaneously. I'd love if it was that instant. That was literally teleportation, but games, gotta love games. A little bit faster. So, all right, let's install these new parts we got. So the new power supply goes in here. Let's do all that, and the cabling goes in automatically. Debating on whether to turn that off, because that's very simple. I will kind of I'm gonna do a quick explanation on what each one does. Okay, so what you have here, this specific cable here is the this is the CPU power. You'll usually see it something that says CPU on the cable itself. This is the 24-pin connector, which applies power to the entire motherboard and powers that on. And I believe there should be one going into the back here. Into the there is an SSD. Oh no, this is the the other the computer we haven't booted yet. I was like, woo! I was like, no wonder. But yeah, so there's power going into this as well to power the hard drive or the SSD in this case. And I don't believe I missed anyone. It doesn't look like some of these graphics cards, maybe not the 1030 per se, require extra power, which is capable through this type of motherboard. You would plug it into the graphics card, and that is about it when you're talking about plugging in a power supply. It's not the hardest thing in the world. I'd say the hardest thing about plugging in the power supply is sometimes these 24-pin connector is not connected. They have a 4-pin and then a 20-pin thing, and they're a pain in the ass. They combine them now because they love us, but before they didn't, and I don't really know why. So we're good to here. We can just so yeah, I'm playing this basically how I would play, or how I would, you know, act in real life. I hope, like, you know, just quick assessments, weighting my odds. Like, this is the reason I would order these parts immediately. If I have an option to order these parts immediately, which mostly doesn't really happen, but if there's an option for it and it's the founder and it's the person, if this was a teacher, I'd be like, okay, we'll wait till next day, you know, type delivery. But because this is the founder and the owner, I'm going to do this now and get it done on the ticket system. Okay, so this is done. The paper's done. The virus scan's done. So I'm gonna collect this. So, okay, good. So, oh, okay, that's my satisfaction rating. Okay, I see now. That's how that works. Okay, great. Thank you. Give me form straight out, and then I'll book you for the first onboarding session. Exciting. Okay. Okay, great. So that's in the completed section. All right, so I guess it does that automatically. Okay, so usually in my ticket system, I have to write a note. I mean, obviously that'd be a little much in this program, saying exactly what I did to fix the issue, so you know they have record of it. But it looks like everything's set up in this computer, so we're gonna try to power it on. Okay, great. All right, so it's working now. No issues. Oh, you know what? Unplug this. Oh, you know what? I forgot to turn the computer off. Good rule of thumb to not turn the remove the plate with the computer on. Doesn't really matter that much, but you know what I forgot? I think I bought RAM for her. I did. She wanted memory. So we'll install this. So yeah, so this is how to install memory. There's these two clips here. Sometimes they can be a pain in the ass to pull. And what it's good to know, what they don't really teach you, is that RAM, especially DDR4, as long as you don't, like, I don't know, like purposely try to damage the bottom of a RAM stick, it is nearly impossible to break it. I would say impossible to break it, but I'll say nearly because, you know, whatever on how it works. But so to install memory, you would press down on these clips and either remove the previous memory and install the new one by pressing down quite hard, and you'll hear a click, or sometimes you might not even hear a click and it will just snap in, and that's fine too, as long as both. The biggest thing is you look at these clips. If the clips are like, you need to make sure that they're all the way up, and that's how you know the RAM's in all the way. If it's one slightly down than the other, then it's not installed properly and you could have issues. But just make sure you can press down very hard if you need to. Like they say, oh, be careful, but with RAM, that doesn't really matter as much. It is very indestructible. So you're good to go when it comes to that kind of stuff. So let's try to power this on again. It has an upgrade now, more RAM, 16 gigabytes per se. Specifically, to check this, since this has an SSD, you'd press F2 to go in the BIOS to make sure the RAM is installed properly. There's also other ways, you know, through the Windows, but I'm going to go into the BIOS. So as you can see in the BIOS, it says that there are 16 gigabytes of RAM installed currently. And this is the RAM speed. And there's 2 slots used, and there's the CPU temperature, and that is a perfect temp for a CPU. So we're good to go. This is done. So, and that is day 1. Fantastic. All right. I've only been playing an hour. Oh, I just noticed you can't. You know what? I might put myself. There we go. I'll let you see the objectives. I don't know. I debated with the camera because, you know, it does block a little bit of the gameplay. But I'll keep shifting myself around as I need to. So you can see the list of things over. Wait. I got it over there. is. So, yeah, so you can see the list of things that need to be done. So I think I did everything today. So it looks like I just go to this ticket system. I can discard this because it's done. Discard would mean close. I'll close that ticket. And this one seems done. Everything's done. Leave it. Okay. There we go. So that's efficient. The cost of parts was 180 and the pay was 500. So I got 320 in profit. Could have got more, obviously, if I didn't do the same day shipping. Too, because the same day shipping put 280. So actually I got like 220, not 320, but whatever. So as long as the founder is happy, and that's the most important thing. So we set the priority high. We have no tickets to give to the night shift for Natalia, so we're done here. This is great. Printer's working, so we're good to end this day. All right, guys, so I will see you all on the next day on YouTube, but for you streaming people, we're staying. Bye, YouTube. See you in a sec.